world is ending. Isn't that great? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mariel and this is a new video, I guess, in case you didn't notice, because we love being Captain Obviouses. Today's video is gonna be a little sit-down tips kind of thing where I will tell you how the world is ending and we need to do something about it. But I don't want to get you guys to be like all anxious or anything. I just want to show you guys small ways in which we can actually help the environment. Every action counts. Everything matters. Nothing is in vain. As citizens, we might feel like there isn't much that we can do, but let me tell you, it starts small and it creates something big. If you start communicating with other people and joining and being an active member of your community when it comes to taking care of the environment, other people will follow. It just takes time, and that's okay, because as long as we're trying, we're doing something good. So I'm going to start with the first tip. My first tip to you guys is the simplest one ever. Start by bringing your own cutlery and water bottles with you. It is very common. You go sometimes to a restaurant and they give you plastic knives, forks, and spoons. But you don't need to buy those expensive or bamboo, plastic, corn-made, vegan, baby stuff. You can get started with something as easy and simple as this. The cutlery that you already have in your home. I don't own any pair of bamboo straws, glass straws, metal straws, or bamboo cutlery or corn-based made holy grail cutlery either. I just bring my spoon and fork because I'm a poor college student and you do what you gotta do. It is very likely that you already have a pair of these at home. So you can put them in your purse, in your backpack, in maybe a little pencil case that you may have laying around in case you don't want it to be in contact with any other things. But you can start by bringing that and a water bottle because hydration is important and it'll help the planet in the process. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It could be a plastic water bottle. It could be a metal water bottle, insulated, not insulated. I do recommend using an insulated water bottle because it keeps things hot, and if it's cold, it keeps them cold as well. But it's not exactly necessary. You most likely already have one of these at home. So basically, zero cost for any of this. Plastic can only be recycled 1 to maximum 3 times before it's just done. Like, that bitch is dead. So it's very important to avoid it as much as possible. In this case, these are a great way to start. So, tip number 2, try buying glass and metal. And maybe, just maybe, reuse them? We'll get on with that later. Most of my groceries I try buying in glass and metal containers. What do I mean by this? Pasta jars. I try to get it in a glass bottle. Also, metal. Instead of buying things in the plastic, cardboard, alloy boxes, buy them in cans. Also, if possible as well, try buying things in cardboard. Cardboard can be recycled. This is more for people that do groceries on their own, but if you still live with your parents, something you can do is just go grocery shopping with them. And try and convince them to, instead of buying the box of tomato sauce, get the can or the glass bottle of sauce. Or if you're buying juice, try to convince them on the glass container instead of the plastic container. Tip number 3, if you are buying stuff in plastic, make sure it's in big quantities. Don't buy the small thing in plastic. It's always better to buy the biggest amount of product in a plastic container. And you're kind of helping the environment because you're not consuming bottle after bottle after bottle. Same goes for juice. Get the big one instead of the small one, that way you're not going through bottle after bottle. And all the other things, just try to get the big quantities of the item instead of small single ones, because that in the long run produces more waste. Tip number 4, investigate, do your research, and try to find bookstores near you. This is kind of aligned with my tip number 1 because you can use your repurposed glass jars to buy your bulk. This is something I do personally. I buy pasta sauce in glass jars. After I'm done with that, I wash them, rinse them, and remove the label. And afterwards, I go to a bulk store and I fill them up with either garbanzo beans, black beans, lentils, oats, chia, they even sell salt. So if you can, try and find the bookstore that is nearest to you. Tip number 5, recycle if you can. Separate your trash. Check what can and cannot be recycled in your community. Most of all, if you're from the US where you have an actual recycling system. Here where I'm studying, we don't really have a recycling system. The trash just gets mixed up, they take it, they dump it. That's it. But what I do is I separate my tin cans and glass jars from the rest of my trash and I keep them in a box in the kitchen. After that box is filled out, there are certain companies that will recycle that waste. There are certain associations that collect these items and recycle them or just do the whole waste management for you. So investigate, how can I recycle, what can I recycle, and where can I take my recycling? Tip number 6, switch to reusable bags. It's not that hard. The only reusable bag I've ever purchased is one from Walmart, and it has survived to this day. Like, wow. The others I have just been gifted by either people doing campaigns or just gift shops or stores even sometimes gift you reusable bags, so that's pretty awesome. And I know that the main issue with these things is sometimes you just forget to bring them. So a good strategy that I would recommend is to just keep a couple of these in your car. Even if it's not enough for all of your groceries, it's a bit less plastic bags used every time you go shopping, and it does make a difference. Also, produce bags. This bag I actually made myself. If you can tell, the sewing is pretty lame because I sewed it by hand. But I just went to a fabric store, I bought some nylon. This is actually a repurposed, I think this was like a tag thing, but you can also use old shoelaces. You could use string that you have lying around. Anything works. You can even use old t-shirts to make the actual bag. Any old fabric, it's fine, and you can just take it to the store, put your fruits, vegetables, sometimes even beans or rice inside, cinch it up, and you're done. So these I made myself, but there are so many others that you can buy either on Amazon, an Etsy shop. If there are farmers market, they may sell some of those there. I'm not exactly sure. It depends on your local farmers markets. It's just a matter of taking a look around. I will recommend some produce bags that I have found on the description box down below, so you can go check them out. And that would be all for tip number 6. Tip number 7, mend clothes instead of throwing them away. This is so important. Learning how to fix your clothes is a great tool. This is something that sounds pretty basic, but when you keep your clothes out of the landfill, it does generate a good impact. So either mend your clothes instead of throwing them away, or donate them if you don't need them anymore. But don't throw them into the trash because there are so many people that can make good use out of their pieces of clothing. Now, more on clothes. Tip number 8, buy secondhand. There are so many places that you can buy secondhand in. As far as I know, there are thrift stores, Goodwill, Salvation Army, UCP. Look it up. Go on Google, search up thrift stores near me, and 1 or 2 are most likely to pop up. In case you don't have any thrift stores near you, or actually you don't have any good thrift stores, there's also the option of thrifting online. You can go to ThredUp, which is an amazing webpage that sells secondhand clothing. You can go to Depop. You can go on Poshmark. You can go even on Facebook Marketplace. Sometimes people are doing garage sales. They announce that they're gonna give away clothes or sell clothes at a very cheap price, and you can just go check it out, and maybe you can get yourself a new wardrobe. Way cheaper than buying it at the store, might I add. So just make sure to check it out. I generally go to local thrift stores when I'm in the US. When I'm in Mexico, I have also found a bunch of vintage stores, and there are so many vintage stores here now that are doing swap parties. In case you didn't know, swap parties are small events where you can gather, bring your own clothes, of course they have to be in a good state, and you can exchange them with somebody else for new to you clothing. If those type of events don't happen in your community, you should consider maybe organizing one. Get together with friends, bring your old to you clothes, and get new to you clothes. Also, you can look up flea markets. Some people just sell their old clothing that is still in a good state for way cheaper than buying it at the original price. So, I don't know, I would just recommend you guys looking this up. It's a great way to get new clothing, upgrade your style, get a new wardrobe, and help the environment in the process. Tip number 9. Sometimes you don't have any good thrift stores. Maybe you can't thrift online, you can't go on Depop, you don't have good flea markets. In the odd chance that none of these opportunities are good for you, if you buy new clothes, focus on quality materials if possible. Cotton, suede, leather. I know some people are vegan, maybe high quality vegan leather. If they're not, leather ages pretty well most of the time. Silk, among other things. Try to focus on the type of materials that you're buying and try to figure out if the brand that you're buying from is an actual quality brand. I know this is a bit more expensive and not everybody has the means, but a good quality pair of jeans on the long run is way cheaper than buying 7 or 8 Forever 21 jeans that will just stretch out after a couple washes. So if it's possible to you, try and buy quality clothing whenever possible. And my final tip, join a community. This is so important. It has helped me so much. I have a Facebook, so I just literally looked up zero waste, the city where I live, and I joined that group, and I have been able to make connections with people, make friends, start conversations, get tips, because it's people of all ages that join those kind of groups. There are international groups, there are local groups. They can share recipes, tips, tricks, how to mend stuff, how to use this, how to do that. So if you're kind of shy or you don't know anybody that wants to help the environment like you do, join these type of groups and you will find like-minded people that will help you through the process. You never know, you might meet new people, make new friends. That's amazing, right? And most of all, a little extra tip, don't get discouraged if you make mistakes. Nobody is perfect. I have made so many mistakes in my process into being a more eco-friendly, eco-conscious human. And it has been a challenge, but that doesn't mean that I'm gonna give up. Because as long as you keep trying, you're doing way better than someone that's doing nothing at all. So that would be it for today's video. I would like to thank all of you for being here today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a good thumbs up. I'm thinking about making a eco-friendly lifestyle situation kind of series on this channel, and I would be very excited because taking care of the earth is something I'm so passionate about and I love and I enjoy, and I would like to share my knowledge as a human that lives on their own and does adult things without actually being a real adult. So I think that could help like a person at least, and that's enough for me. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a good thumbs up. Click the subscribe button down below for more content like this, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye!